Everybody's talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Are you ever wiping throughout night and day? Now that you listen to the Rant Cafe.
Yo, what is happening, everyone, and welcome to the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast Extravaganza. Today with us, we have Lord Brigo, the other co-host of the Rant Cafe. Unfortunately, Animac is no longer with us. In the good way, but he couldn't show up for family stuff. We also have the Mad Lad for the first of many times, hopefully, Heavenly Controller.
Nope, after this, I'm going to fade into the darkness. You'll never see me again.
All right, so for the first and last time, Heavenly Controller.
Yes, the legend himself. Even I'm starstruck to be in my own presence.
Yeah, Evan is lost for words right now. I'm not even going to introduce him.
Wait, what? What? Fuck you!
All right, and we, of course, also have Evanit0, the absolute mad lad that we love to annoy and annoy to love.
I don't think that last part makes sense, but thank you.
Not question
It
it.
made sense.
What are we doing today, Nuxie boy?
Today, we are doing something fun. We are debating the worst anime ever, discussing the worst of the worst, and it'll be fun because, hey, the only purpose to watching bad anime is roasting it with your friends. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I feel that. Unfortunately, it's like,
Hell
I feel like
yeah.
there's probably some terrible anime out there that'd be fun to roast, but like you just don't get past episode 1 because they're so bad. Like, I was looking at my actual like anime list. I'm like, none of these are that roast worthy.
Yeah, when I found out an anime is going to be trash, I stopped watching it. So, like, I mean, there's
So
a
you
few
could
I
roast
see.
bad first episodes, bad anime that you finished. You can roast anything. All right, we're pretty loose here on the term worst anime ever. For
The
example,
only way that I get caught into a bad anime is if it starts out not bad and then it sneaks up on me with some shitty episode. That's how I experience it.
Hey, that sounds a lot like ReZero.
Oof.
Wow. Okay.
How dare you? ReZero is pretty great, man.
So the way
ReZero
this
is
episode's gonna turn into is this anything that I slightly dislike, I'm gonna bring up. But maybe we'll let the guests start it off.
Take it away. Worst anime ever. What comes to your mind?
Worst anime ever? Well, I don't know if I have one definitive worst anime, but one of the anime that, well, actually, see, I have a few answers. I'm going to go with one of the ones that I watched that was just a terrible experience for me. It was, what was this anime called? It's based off of like a game, I think. I think it was called like Gunslinger Stratos. Have any of you guys watched that?
No,
Yes.
sir.
I don't know if it wasn't necessarily bad so much, it was just stupid. Like, I was watching it, and it was like all these like fucking, I don't even know what you would call them, just like shonen anime character archetypes. We're all fighting in some like tournament or something, and like some virtual world, and then they find this alternate reality where like there's like it's like a parallel universe where all the same people exist, but they're just slightly different, and like I don't know what it is. This isn't
So
even just an
it's
anime thing.
Fairy Tail's Edalist arc, you're saying?
I don't know because I haven't fucking watched that because Fairy Tail started turning trash too, and I dropped it. But with this anime,
You're triggering
like
Evan
that.
so badly right now.
I'm not. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, he said ReZero got bad, so I have no
Know
sympathy.
that Fairy Tail is Evan's favorite anime.
No, it's one of my favorites. It's not my absolute favorite.
Wow, I'm gonna need to
Top five.
course correct that.
But
But anyways, I'm gonna finish my Gunslinger Stratos rant. So Gunslinger Stratos, I don't know what it is. If it's just an anime thing or if it's like I see this in movies and video games and stuff. When people try to deal with parallel universes and time travel, they don't know how to do it right, and it always becomes a Deus Ex Machina fucked up. It just starts making no sense. In Gunslinger Stratos, I don't even specifically remember what it was, but I just remember I was watching it and I was on like episode 8 or something, and I was just like, "What the hell? This is so stupid!" And I literally in the middle, I've never done this before. In the middle of the episode, I stopped, dropped, pop lock and drop. No, I never watched it again. I was just like, "That's it." I don't remember what it was. It was something that was like people were turning into sand and sand soldier. I don't even see. I'm getting triggered just talking about it. So that's all I'm gonna say. Don't watch Gunslinger Stratos unless you want your time wasted. So.
I wasn't planning on it and definitely won't.
Okay.
Thank you. Very cool.
Damn. I think.
Evan, do you have what's the worst anime ever?
So for me, immediately what comes to mind is Desert Punk. But like I just don't remember much about it because I just did not like it that much. And I finished the entire show. Like I just remember it being absolutely boring and like nothing ever happening. But the second thing that comes to mind is Tokyo Majin. And like Tokyo Majin was an interesting series, but it was just bad for the fact that like there was no real story. It was literally just cool fights like every few episodes, and like there was just no substance to it. Like I just didn't understand a single thing that happened at any point in the show. And to this
Because you
day,
didn't
right?
understand what happened. That doesn't mean it's not understandable.
No. Okay, here's the thing, right? Like I've looked up, tried to find like explanations on what goes on in that show.
You watched the worst anime ever, and then you spent countless hours trying to figure out why it isn't the worst anime ever.
No,
that happens because sometimes if an anime is so bad, you can't fathom that it's true. So you're like, I must be missing something, and then you.
I was like,
the one I was gonna talk about, my least favorite anime of all time. It's like this really critically acclaimed anime. All these super elitist people love it. Okay, I think Serial Experiments Lane is the worst anime I've ever seen.
What the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is.
I've actually never seen it, but it's definitely recommended quite a bit on AniTube.
Yeah, people recommend it.
It's about this show.
I've never heard this ever in my entire life. Wait, what's it called?
Serial Experiments Lane.
Experiments Lane. L-A-I-N.
Is it like serial killer or like the breakfast?
Serial killer.
Serial killer.
I don't even know how to spell that one. Hold on.
Man, so many people have written hours and hours of analysis on it. Like,
wow, how did I avoid
Digibro, the anime man? It's like in both of their top 5 anime ever. A lot of people love it.
So that's probably why. Serial Experiments Lane.
I like deep stuff, but I hate fake deep stuff. If it's fake deep, I absolutely hate it. Okay.
You want to know another fake deep anime? Ergo Proxy. Have you watched that?
Oh, yeah.
I never actually watched the whole thing. I really need to.
No,
Ergo Proxy was like deep to the point of being pretentious, and it was just like this isn't even.
No, it's very pretentious.
You're just being weird for the sake of it now at this point, and it was just like, all right. I mean, I finished it. It wasn't terrible, but it was just whatever. It was like, okay, you're trying too hard.
Well, I don't even know if I can consider myself an anime fan. I mean, this is like a podcast for the worst anime ever, but I have not watched a single anime you guys have talked about.
I didn't know
funny because everyone that watches Serial Experiments Lane says how amazing it is, and Spooky was recommended it. He was going to start it. I told him, listen, don't give in to the evils, okay? It's garbage.
I'm probably going to watch it now, just out of curiosity. I want to find out.
And he watched it and he hated it, and I was so happy.
Because that's definitely going to be one of those shows that if I watch and don't like it, I'm going to say it, and it's going to trigger people, and they're going to be like, you just hate things just to hate. And I'm like, or maybe I just don't like it, but, you know, whatever. Live your truth.
Fake deep is one of my nemesises. If it's going to be deep, let it be deep. I like deep shiz. But if it's fake deep, get out of here. Can't stand it.
You know what is the most, I wouldn't even say this is fake deep, but like the anime that is like pretentiously deep that, once again, a bunch of people like, that I watched and I enjoyed it, but I was like, all right, like, really? And that is, hold on, I want to, maybe one of you guys can guess. I'm going to give you a hint, and it's probably going to give it away, but whatever.
Is it Evangelion?
Yeah, okay, see, I knew that you would probably.
I had a feeling you were going to
before the hint was even given.
No, okay, so like, so people
I don't need a hint.
People are always talking about Evangelion. It makes my balls drop. It makes my dick hard. Yada yada yada. And I was watching it. And I was like, all right, yeah, the animation, the fights are pretty dope and everything. But like the last 5 episodes, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And I never got an explanation. And even when you look up, like what and once again, like I think Evan said, where like I was like, okay, this isn't making any sense. I need to look this up. And then I looked it up, and no one else knew what the fuck was going on either. So I was like, well, so you guys all just like this show because you all collectively don't understand?
So what everyone says
there are people like that, man.
No, what everyone says is you have to watch the movie for a good ending too.
I saw the movie, but the ending of the actual anime, everyone's like, it's in fact philosophically amazing because it's a strain of consciousness straight out of the creator's mind because he was depressed, and the ending is very depressing.
I'll tell you what it is. It's one inside joke that nobody is in on, and everyone's afraid to be that person to be like, I actually don't like this or don't understand, and everyone else is going to turn around and say, wow, you just didn't get it, when really they don't get it either. So everyone is just all pretending like they understand the same thing that none of them actually understand, and it's just like this cult thing where everyone's just like, let's all pretend like we understand too, so that we're not shunned by the rest of the community. But
clearly, you guys don't have a large enough IQ to understand the subtle nuances of Evangelion.
My favorite thing of Evangelion is people for years were talking about the deep Christian symbolism within Evangelion. Like, and there's a lot of stuff and a lot of references to very esoteric arts. And in an interview, the guy said, Oh no, I just did it because I thought it looked cool. There's no significance to any of
That's
that.
always what it is.
That's
literally always what it
amazing.
is. Okay, no, nuts. I was like in like these classes in college where we were analyzing like art and like literature and like the interpretation. And I was literally like, this guy was probably just high on opioids and just made shit up. Like, who are we? What evidence do we have? We're literally just bullshitting. And the moment that I learned that, this is how I was able to bullshit my way through college, because I knew that it doesn't matter if I'm right, so long as I'm convincing enough in my interpretation. Who are you to tell me otherwise? Because that's all that you niggas are doing anyways too. So that's what I did. So I think my last essay in college was like, I forgot what it was. It wasn't relevant, but I somehow was just like, I used Donald Glover's "This Is America" music video to explain, and it sounded like nonsense, but I would just be like, well, who are you to tell me it was nonsense? To me, it makes perfect sense. So you just got to put up a good argument. Like, that's all it is.
It's not nonsense. It means you didn't get it.
As long as you support
No,
your
of course
claims.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
You
this is
gotta
what
give-
me
you
and
gotta
me
throw
and
your
me and
professor
Animac
awards
always
now.
argue about that type of thing, because he loved the ending of the Death Note one shot because it made sense in the grand scheme of the world. I very much disliked it, and it was just kind of like he was just talking about like the thematic significance and all that. I'm just like, for me, first and foremost, if it's enjoyable, if it can be enjoyable and have good symbolism and thematic significance and all that added in,
Exactly.
it's a masterpiece. But if it just has
Yeah.
that and it's boring as fuck, guess what? It sucks.
Round of applause. That is so beautiful.
Dude,
Yes,
this man's
absolutely. I
spitting
agree.
straight facts right now.
That's what it is. No, I say that all the time. Like, I don't care if I don't. It's like when people were telling me the same thing, and I mean, this might anger people too. I didn't fucking like Devilman Crybaby because I didn't understand what was going on, and people were like, "Well, you just didn't get it." Well, that's not my job. It's not my job to try to understand. The show should do a good job of explaining it to me. And like, if I have to sit there and like research or just really look really hard, oh, you missed the symbolism. Like, that's not my job. It's not my job to entertain myself. Okay, I came to this anime to do it for me. That's the whole point. So yeah, if it can't get all this symbolism and messaging across and entertain me at the same time, then it,
So,
then it was good.
I'll give you an example of good symbolism in anime. I wanted to do an entire video on this one point. Black Clover. I know that you haven't seen it, Heavenly, but
Okay.
because you didn't react to it yet, you traitor. But anyway, anyway, the symbolism in Black Clover is amazing because it's enjoyable on the surface level, and it's your typical rambunctious action shonen that everyone loves. But there's also a level deeper to everything, and that's when symbolism's actually great. You can't rely on the deep symbolism to sell your show.
Yeah. Like, in fact, that's honestly see, it's like sometimes an anime will have subtle symbolism that you pick up on as you watch the show. And like the thing is, I mean, if that's what you're seeking out to do, like if you're making a show, like let's say Evangelion is meant to be heavily symbolic for the person who wants to dissect that and pull out all that symbolism, then that's great. Then I hope they enjoy it and they love it. Just don't expect me to also like it as well. But I almost feel like it doesn't matter how effective you are at, or rather how much symbolism or how much underlying messaging that you're putting in your medium. If I am not able to receive it because I'm bored or if like I have to think too hard, then it's not effective in its attempt and thus it fails. So it's like, that's why a lot of times I'll like, you have these people and they're like, they'll not even just an anime, like in a movie, and it'll be like this really hidden message. And I'm like, well, you hide it to the point to where it loses its purpose because it's not effective at conveying that to the audience. So it's pointless. You know,
I absolutely
don't
agree.
make it too mysterious.
Like, I don't dislike it if an anime makes me think, or if it's like I appreciate it more on the second watch through. I picked up something extra. But if it's not entertaining, like foremost, then it's just not a good anime. And like, it's hard because there's all these like great literature that have all these things. But I think first and foremost, they're still enjoying to read in the first place, right? But anyway, let's jump back into my pick. So the only anime on my anime list that I have, or like on my personal list that I've completed that I consider absolute garbage, is Isekai wa Smartphone or something along those lines. I don't know why the fuck I finished it. It's something
Why
about
did you even
Isekai.
start it?
It's something about Isekai that just grabs me in and does not let me go. I start an Isekai, I finish it. Like, and it was just so bad.
No, I saw the first episode of that thinking like, okay, this is different. Like it has the potential to be like good. and then it was just straight.
That's what you
trash.
said after the first episode, Evan. This is
No,
why we don't let you talk.
I watched the first episode, when I started it, before I started it, I was like, this has the potential to be good, right? Because it was a little bit different. When I finished that episode,
explain to me what was different about it by your perception, Evan.
Because he was in another world with his smartphone, so that's why I watched it.
Unlike everyone else that's in another world with a random gimmick.
I'm just saying, okay, it was just very different, and I thought they were gonna do some cool stuff. But by the time I finished episode 1, I was like, oh, this is just straight trash, and I just stopped.
I agree with Evan
I
in the sense.
The first episode to tell you that.
Yeah, for real. Like all the side characters, terrible characters, did not develop at all. Were super bland. The main character himself was a wannabe Kirito that had even less of a personality than Kirito. Like, it was crazy. But like, I was a little bit. The reason why I was drawn in, not just because of the premise, but like it actually made me laugh the first episode because of how like stupid it was. Like, oh, this is gonna be a fun isekai. Like it's just gonna be funny and like stupid. But that's what brought me into it. And then it just got bad and serious and bad and worse. Oh,
I don't know how you have the mental capacity to finish that entire show.
I watched it all in one sitting.
I'm mad at you because I just imagine of all these amazing
Wow.
shows you could have watched, but you watched Isekai Smartphone instead.
Yeah. Yep.
Can I have a minute of your time, please? Isekai Smartphone looked amazing. It looked different. Evanit0 2020.
Don't you freaking quote me on that.
You had me in the first half. I was about to be like, what the fuck are you
This
talking
is
about?
how I get canceled.
And then you heard it's from Evan. It's like, oh yeah, typical Evan.
Oh,
So I like Isekai Smartphone just because of the fact that it's my go-to terrible Isekai anime. If I need to pull a random terrible Isekai anime out of my ass, it'll be Isekai
yeah, if you
Smartphone.
want to get drunk with friends and roast a show, then I feel like Isekai Smartphone is a perfect muse for that.
I think there are worse isekai. Like, I feel like this captures the generic trope of the terribleness of isekai. Like, guy dies, goes to God. God's like, well, I didn't mean to kill you. Would you like anything in this other world that I will send you? Oh, yeah, a smartphone. Okay, but I will make it always have Wi-Fi. Okay. And you'll also be overpowered.
You want to know an isekai that it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't amazing? That, like, I think it was like I was watching Digibro make a video praising the show, and he just hates everything. So when he liked this, I was so confused. I mean, I also wasn't confused, but because he always likes stuff that like makes no sense. So it's just like he has just very peculiar tastes. And it was that what was it called? The slime isekai. I like that. Like, I mean, look, don't get it wrong. That anime, it looks really pretty. The animation is good, but it's about nothing, and that's fucking boring. I want my show to be about something. I don't want it to just be like slice of life. Not even slice of life, I feel like, has a direction. The slime one, it was just nothing.
It started off with no direction, but I feel like slowly he ends up having to save the world or something like that from the demon lords.
Like, I actually did watch a good amount of it, and I intend on eventually going back and finishing it. I just have no sense of urgency to watch. Like, I never was watching that show. I was like, I can't wait till the next episode of Slime. Like, I was just, it was a very passive experience. Like I like, my favorite type of anime are the ones where there is a destination in mind and there's a plot, and like it's almost like it keeps you at the edge of your seat. Like a show like,
I'm not gonna lie, when Slime was going on, I would like reload the page. Oh, a new episode of Slime. I didn't see the last 3. Okay, we'll watch this one.
Yeah. Slime's a show that you watch while folding laundry or something. You know, you can kind of have to pay attention and you don't miss anything.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten past like episode 4 of that show because I agree with Heavenly. Like, it definitely just got really boring for me, and I was like, yeah, this isn't worth finishing.
Oh, I watched like 10 or 12 episodes of it, and it still feels like it's about nothing.
Yeah.
As far as isekai, I think the worst isekai of all time is something Ragnarok. I don't know if you've seen it.
That sounds familiar.
Oh,
Basically,
sorry, this is totally kind of random. No, not the worst anime, but like someone left this in the chat and it just reminded me. This anime that was literally, I mean, like, so I already don't like Future Diary, and this anime was a poor man's Future Diary, and it was literally like, I think it was made by the same person. It had the same art style and everything. Most of the character designs.
Oh man, Big Order!
Oh my god, that
Big
fucking
Order.
show was
That was-
insulting to watch. You know where I stopped? When this nigga pulled on that chick's ear and she got pregnant.
I was just gonna say that. That's what I was about to say.
Stopped.
Oh my god.
I was like, all right, this is bullshit.
Heavenly, listen to this, okay? I finished Big Order. I watched the whole thing.
You finished
I remember I saw that episode that you were talking about, and I was like, I have to see more. I have to see what else they do.
Oh
Dude,
my
that
god.
scene was so bad. For those of you that
That
don't
whole
know, this
show,
girl had a ribbon on her head, and he was about to like say, "Oh, that's a nice ribbon," and touch it, and she was like, "No, don't touch the ribbon, or it'll get me pregnant." And he's like, "That's ridiculous." Then later in the episode, he like pats her on the head or whatever, and touches her ribbon, and all of a sudden, boom, she's like 9 months pregnant.
Any hope of that
Like-
show being taken seriously went out the window right there. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, that was
It was
something
already
else.
like.
There was this other like immortal girl that had the worst luck. So wherever she would go, she would like blow up and try to like do bad things to other people, but it would end up blowing her up and she'd be fine. Like it was not the most philosophically deep fantasy show of all time.
Once again, to cut you off, just because in the chat someone said King's Game was awful. Yes, King's Game was awful, but King's Game is so bad that it's good. Everyone watch King's Game. It is, you're just gonna laugh. It's an unintentional comedy. I've never laughed so hard in my life. And also,
Did laugh to King's Game. I never finished it. I only I think watched the first episode or two, but I did.
I hella finished it, and it got so it just gets stupider the more you watch, and it's amazing. And also,
dude, there was this one scene. It's like, you must kill your friend, and he's like, well, I don't consider you a friend, but I'll kill you. And then kills him, and it's like, oh, but he's not a friend, so it didn't count, or something like that. And I was like, wait.
Yeah. But like, also King's Game has like the best anime. I've never been more hyped than the King's Game opening. It is the most hyped opening of all time. Like, I love that shit.
All right, I feel like this wouldn't be much of a worst anime podcast if we didn't talk about, at least say our feelings about Sword Art Online.
Sword Art Online is fine.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I think people hate on Sword Art Online just to like hate on it. To be honest,
I think
money.
No, well that's definitely true. But for me, it was more like a letdown. It's an average show, not the worst anime of all time. But when you watch the first like 2-3 episodes and you're like, wow, like this cool new world. It was like I hadn't watched any isekai prior to this. Like I'm a gamer as well, so like I could picture myself in like doing like in this RPG MMO world with like huge stakes. It was a great concept. I even liked Kirito as well in the beginning, but then I think my main issue is that it was just 12 episodes. The first part. The first part's the only part that was like actually watchable for me.
15 episodes.
15?
15.
The first part was definitely the best, and it always will be the best.
But imagine,
so I would argue the first part, the Aincrad arc of Sword Art Online, I would argue it's good. Like, not average. I would argue it's good.
No, I agree.
I would argue it's good as
well.
well.
It had an absolutely bullshit ending, and they rushed the entire thing.
I thought that the ending was not the greatest, but I have an argument for Kaiba as well. I need to do this one long Sword Art Online video just to like
Kaiba
hate on people that hate Kaiba boy.
What was I gonna say? I just feel like it could have been it could have been so good, and because we were all let down, it was easy to make fun of. You know?
I just think it was easy to make fun of because it was so big, and the truth of the matter is, I feel like, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but most of the haters don't get it.
Dude, like...
Well, most of the people who are hating on the show, it was like nitpicking. Like, any anime, if you really want to hate on it, it's really easy. Like, Sword Art Online wasn't trying to be this, like, show that, like, it's like the wrong people were watching it. You know what I mean? Like, Sword Art Online
got bigger than it probably should have.
I don't watch Black Clover and be like, wow, look at his plot hole. Why didn't he... I mean, I probably will in a reaction just to be funny, and everyone will complain that I'm just nitpicking, but I'm just doing that intentionally. But, like, I'm not, like, mad at the show for being what it is. Like, the show is not meant... It's a very surface level, like, lighter show. Like, I don't want to say, just because I don't like this term, turn your brain off, but turn your fucking brain off. Like, chill out. It's not that serious. Just watch the beautiful animation while this guy with plot armor slices the shit out of things. It looks cool. Titties, all right? Shut the fuck up. Like, it's cool.
Okay. Like, for me, because I was enjoying it so much, I was just so let down. I feel like it could have been amazing. They had 100 floors, and I feel like we saw like 5 of them. Imagine they took their time and actually like made it like a 50 or 100 episode anime rather than 15 episodes.
I'm okay with the time skips like happening, but like I feel like they just shouldn't have happened as often. Like,
it's
they
weird because
skipped through the entire fucking game, and we didn't get to meet any of the side characters and develop any of the side characters either. So all we had was Kirito just fuck everyone up.
Yeah, the first season jumped around like it was like rushing to something, but it really wasn't. Like, I don't know why they did that. That like it was like what they basically did, like what Tokyo Ghoul redid, where they just skipped so much stuff and compressed it down. And for what? Like, why would you do this?
Why
you know
rush
it? Like, it didn't serve a purpose. Yeah, it's like you don't have It's like, it's not that you don't have source material to use. So why don't you just make the show? Like, there's plenty to work with, you know?
I also feel bad that Sword Art Online wasn't better, but I wouldn't say it was bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was good
Unlike
either.
Boruto, I think Boruto is one of the worst anime ever.
I'm not even gonna start. I will never stop. So that would have to be a whole dedicated podcast and me shitting on Boruto.
Yo, Tokyo, you brought up Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul, the second season, made no sense to me. Like,
I'm one of those people that actually dislikes Tokyo Ghoul's first season and actually likes the second season.
well, the first season was kind of just like okay.
Evan, what the hell is wrong with you?
Okay, all right.
Wait,
ending-
don't wait. Who raised you?
The ending of the first season was tight, man. Come on.
No, okay. See, I think the ending of the first season, I didn't like it because it was just extremely edgy, and I feel like it was just playing towards
Second season?
No. The first season, I didn't like that ending because it was just too
And the
weird.
second season wasn't edgy, Evan.
It wasn't as edgy. Okay, all right. Like
It wasn't as edgy.
edgier. The second season was literally Kaneki brooding and drinking coffee for 12 episodes.
Okay, yes, true, but like that was still better than trying to like freaking cut off someone's like toes and some shit. Like I just thought that was
If
just
that guy cut his toes off first.
Look,
Okay.
whatever.
Evan, I lost you completely. This is it. I mean, I have to say,
What do you mean?
Evan, when we first started talking about anime to one another, and you mentioned how you liked Fairy Tail, I was very happy because
Oh my God.
no, you don't understand. I like Fairy Tail. Okay, I
Yeah.
think Fairy Tail is very enjoyable. It has its high points, and I enjoyed it. And I was so happy. And then as time went on, I was more and more disappointed that we shared this take. I feel like it invalidated my appreciation for Fairy Tail.
Wow. No, Tokyo Ghoul's second season, I think, is better than the first. I just don't think either of them is great.
What are you saying?
I'm just
Oh
saying
my
it's.
God.
I'm saying it's better than the first, but none of them are really good. Right? So
The first is fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
Okay, what I was the thing about the first season, it was very criminally slow, but I didn't have a problem with this because I felt like the way that the first season was paced is like the show was taking its time because it was like the show acted like, oh, we have plenty of time to tell our good story, so we're gonna take our time and tell it slowly. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. The first season was almost like a prologue to the real show, and then when they got and then they just blew their load after that. I don't know what the fuck, like what, you know what I mean? Like they went from like the first season where it was like a nice introduction, but like if I knew that it was gonna get worse, I would have preferred that they went faster. If they were gonna like start doing dumb shit after that, like, you know what, let's just change the entire second season from the source material. You know what, let's just make the third season an entire slideshow and abridge it by like 50%. So if they were gonna do all that, bullshit.
I'm only just starting this rant. No, I'm kidding. In all honesty, I do appreciate that you're the only person in the world that thinks this way.
Yo, someone said I need to find a fish in my bathtub. I don't know how I feel about that. That's terrifying.
Oh, so wait, are all these fish because he's afraid of?
Yeah, like
You get it. Yo.
No.
Evan, are you uncomfortable reading in the chat right now? Is this inducing your fear? Is this triggering for you?
I swear, man. Nah, I'm fine.
Evan,
I don't believe
I
you.
hope
That's
that
not
you
even
have
this.
as much fun getting roasted as we have fun roasting you.
Nah, it's cool. My opinion still stands though.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I feel like he has no valid in any opinions because he's afraid of fish. I feel like that automatically.
Wow, that-
Wow.
Dude, it was amazing. Afro was on here last time, and we were talking nicely, and Afro and Evan are like, having a great convo. And then Evan's like, "Yeah, I have a phobia of fish," and Afro's like, "Okay, stay away from."
It's just like, dude, like if you're in the water, I kind of get it, but outside of the water, like looking
what?
at a picture of a fish, you don't eat fish because of that. Weird.
Bro, they're
Wait,
just
are you
weird
saying you're
creatures.
only afraid of fish out of water?
They're weird creatures to look at, and I'm afraid of them in and out of water.
No, I would just say it would.
It's a real phobia. Stop trying to invalidate my phobia.
It would make sense if you're in the water, you can't see your feet. It's like, what the fuck is swimming around me? Like that makes sense.
Look, they're slimy. They have.
If you say so. I don't even know how to.
I
begin
mean,
to
bro,
comprehend
they're
this.
scaly.
Okay, they're scaly.
Things with
and
scales
slimy.
aren't slimy.
Well, they can feel slimy.
Are you afraid of fish-type Pokemon? Like, if you play a Pokemon game, can you have no fish on your team? Like, you can't
I don't
catch
play
Magikarp, and he just like smashes his Game Boy.
Actually, no, but real
Yeah.
talk, Magikarp did terrify me as a kid.
Oh my
my God.
god. All right, back
That's
to
what
worst
Splash-
anime.
Splash is specifically for people with fish out of water.
Oh my God.
Speaking
Yo,
of Pokemon,
Briggs,
Pokemon's a pretty bad
Briggs,
anime, but I know it's like completely aimed at kids. But
In our Rant Cafe novel, Briggs, we have to have Evan be like some sort of merman, and he's just terrified of fish.
No, no.
We should have a fish-themed episode of the podcast.
I'm writing that
where we just
down
talk
right
about
now.
Our favorite fish in
Oh
anime.
my God.
You know?
You know what, Heavenly? The next time I meet you, I'm just gonna introduce myself again as the guy that hates fish. You're gonna
The
be like,
next time
"Oh,
you meet me, I'm gonna have a fish with me.
no, fuck
Like-
you."
I'm just gonna wield
I've
a
been carrying
fish.
around this fish for 2 weeks, Evan.
I'm gonna have an entire vlog of me chasing you around wherever we're at with a fish in my hand.
No shit, no.
I'm gonna make I'm gonna have a custom fish sword made. It's gonna have a fish as a hilt and a blade coming out. Wait, I feel like this is a thing. Hold on, I'm looking this up. There's a fish sword. Fish.
yeah, I'm gonna
No,
ship
like,
fish
like,
to your
it's
house.
like an anime or something. Fish sword. No.
Pause,
goddammit.
pause in the chat. You want to cosplay as One Piece fishmen together?
Oh, fuck you, Noble.
Oh hell yes. I'm gonna be what's that one guy? Arlong?
Yo,
I'm gonna be
Noble, I'm
hella
inviting
Arlong,
you to
bro.
the call. In middle of the podcast.
Wait.
Yes, Animax not here.
Evan,
so
are
it's
you
not-
afraid of fish men? Like if I'm like Arlong, are you afraid of like yeah, like if I just have scales.
I feel like that point
Like a
it's
Disney
okay.
Channel movie where the guy gets a tail?
No, I feel like that point it's okay because it's a cosplay, right? But
I don't know, man. There's
Like,
a lot
as
of
long as-
fish qualities.
it does. It
Yeah,
does.
fish are cool. Fish are cool. Evan doesn't think so, but you know.
Whenever I look up fish sword, I just get swordfish results. I'm trying to find wait. Sword with fish hilt. No,
Oh,
that's not
Noble
it.
enjoy.
Sword with fish hilt. No one's ever needed to look that up before.
I'll invent this if I have to.
Yo, can someone in the chat just draw a sword with a fish hilt? There you go.
Oh, but it looked really badass. It was like the blade was coming out of the fish's mouth. But I can't remember for the life of me what this was from.
Oh, there he is.
I just had
Oh.
I had to boot up Discord. That's what I had to do.
Any thoughts on fish?
Hello, Noble.
Hey, how's it
Not
going?
any thoughts on like the worst anime ever, but any thoughts on fish?
Hey, welcome to
Well,
the fish
you know,
podcast.
I don't like eating them, but you know, I'm not afraid of them like a little bitch. You know.
Wow!
That's the
Wow.
afraid of Magikarp. That's the first time I've ever heard someone
Oh
afraid
my God.
of the weakest Pokemon in existence.
That's crazy.
What the hell?
Yo, Noble, when you start the Weeb 10 house and we all move in, can you have like this huge aquarium?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Right at the
yeah, yeah.
entrance.
And then yeah,
So that
we'll make
we
sure
don't have to
that
worry about
all
anybody
his
with fish phobias
clothes
entering
are
the
fishmen
premises.
from One Piece.
Damn. I just
It'll be great.
Rather than having
Well,
a
he says
guard
that
dog,
fish-
we just have a
No,
fish
see, this is what I'm
aquarium and it
gonna
keeps
do. I'm
Evan
gonna wear
away.
one of those- If I cosplay as a fish, it won't work. So I'm gonna have to wear one of those Magikarp suits. Will that scare you? I'm gonna wear that.
Why are you trying to scare me away?
I'm just reminded of that one buff guy who put like the Magikarp fish on his head and he's going around like posing and doing shots of that. Like that's what I'm reminded of. You ever see that?
This sounds remotely
What
familiar.
are you talking about? I almost used him in a thumbnail once.
Yeah, I know, right? he was very popular. He was. It was good shots. I wonder if you'd be afraid of that guy. I mean, honestly, if I saw that guy in a dark alleyway, I'd be afraid.
Evan, how do you
All
feel
right,
about
Noble,
watching
what's the worst
SpongeBob?
anime ever?
I actually don't like SpongeBob. That's why I just never watched it.
SpongeBob worst anime ever. Okay, good. Good to know.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
The worst anime that I've ever watched? I would have to say School Days. Like
Really?
they
Never watched
purposely
School Days.
ruined it.
Oh.
I actually prefer.
Oh, I
the
just found a
game,
fish
so.
Yu-Gi-Oh card. Hold on. Let's see if this scares Evan. I'm gonna post it in the chat.
What the fuck are you trying?
See, Evan, isn't this great? We're bonding right now.
Adam
Not
actually
like
listen
this.
to this podcast and be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys aren't even talking about anime." I never watched School Days. 'Cause I heard it's trash and the ending's trash. So
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I got the whole thing spoiled. I have no interest in watching it.
Wait, is School Days that one that's like turns into hentai halfway or something?
Yeah,
He
no.
fucks like girls, but you don't really see hentai. But at the end, the girls go like yandere and they kill each other and shit.
And they cut
What
off
the
his head.
fuck?
Yeah, they purposely chose the worst ending for the anime.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
the
then
based
they
off of
picked
a visual
the
novel?
door.
It's based off one of the bad endings of the game, right? So
Yeah. They made the main character choose all the wrong choices, and
They should have
led
had
a visual
the
novel.
sex scene from the Fates visual novel in the show. Like, I played that. He nutted on her chest and everything. It was intense. It was like,
Oh,
was
your
a
your
whole
picture
thing.
changed.
oh, it did?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at the stream. Maybe it needs to update. Maybe I'm not live
oh,
enough.
it finally changed on the stream.
Stream's like
Oh.
10 seconds
Okay.
behind.
Because at first they were like, "Who's me?" I don't even know who this is.
Yeah, it's okay, man. I heard your voice and I knew it was you.
Boys in the chat.
Okay, that's just creepy for everybody.
Okay, yeah, that's
I don't
just
know.
terrifying as fuck, man. What the?
If you had a phobia of that,
I wish everyone could see this right now.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not gonna open Discord anymore. That is actually
Jesus
terrifying.
Christ! Well, the blobfish
this is like the reverse of making me hungry. This is like,
Well, didn't you need something like that anyway?
yeah.
Like that is the stuff of nightmares.
I feel like that second one can speak English. I feel like if I spoke to it, it would speak back.
Yeah, the blobfish is an interesting creation.
You know, it's another
Yes.
bad anime. This is totally not me trying to get off the topic of fish. Handshake.
What handshakers?
I just
Yeah,
I hate how
Handshakers.
good it looks for how bad the anime was. Like it physically got me mad
Yeah.
when I watched the first episode. I'm like, why does it look like this? Like,
I just thought it was nauseating. To
What?
watch.
That CGI crowd was stuff of nightmares, bro.
I mean, it had some great CGI, man. Those chains.
Chains look pretty
I'm just
cool.
remembering the chains from episode 1 of Black Clover. Oh my god, the chains in Big Order looked so bad.
That's right. Oh man, Noble, did you see Big Order?
I don't know if I did, honestly.
You're not missing anything,
I'll have to-
This
let me
guy,
Google it.
he gained the ability to literally control the world, and so people started wanting to like kill him because he could control the world.
Wow, you know this anime is bad because Nuck said the world and not Zawardo.
Yeah, I think I saw like maybe one episode of it and hated it, and
Yeah, it was
just
pretty bad.
didn't watch it. Looks
So
like the guy
what
who
I'm
made
about to mention,
Future Diary.
it's not one of the worst anime ever. It's just not good by any means. But
Yeah,
it's recreators.
Yeah, I heard that Recreators was really good from people, and I watched like episode 1. I don't even think I finished the first episode. I
Oh,
don't know.
I love you, Heavenly. Why are you not here more? Recreators is one
I
of our
mean-
greatest memes.
Recreators looked really cool, but it was just like it was the most generic thing I had ever seen. So I was just like, okay. I feel like I was just missing something. I'm like, maybe it changes later on because I just watched like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. I just watched it and just was like not feeling it. Like it just felt like Dell was a part-timer but taking itself seriously, and I was just like, all right.
I liked Recreators for one character specifically, and it was like the magical girl. And it was only because of the fact that she realized that and it was kind of too late, but like in her world she can like use her big spells and stuff. And obviously, like since she's from like a video game or an anime or something, like obviously it didn't actually hurt anyone, but she was using her attacks in the real world, and they made it like obvious. They're like, hey, you're actually hurting people with those attacks. And she was like, oh shit, I can actually kill someone. And that just like really fucked her up mentally. And I was like, okay, that's kind of different. And that's pretty much the only character
Admit,
I
I
liked.
think
that
she
shows
was
like
the
a drop.
only high point of the entire show.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Here's another show that I dropped. Fuck, I lost it. What was it called? Oh, Chaos Head. Trash.
Oh yeah, that one
That
got
is my
weird.
second least favorite anime of all time, right after Serial Experiments Lane. I mean, as
I was
far
like-
as
I
anime
was like
I
being
finished.
told, oh, it's a loose prequel to Steins Gate, which I still have no idea how that's the case.
No,
But-
there's no fucking way it is.
So, like,
Yeah, that's-
I watched
it was
Chaos
like-
Head because it was on Netflix and it had a cool logo, and I was like, all right, and it was terrible.
Yeah, I think that
It
was
was
how I
really
started
bad.
too. That was back when I think I started that back when like an anime was on Netflix and I just clicked on shit. I didn't even think about it, and then I just started watching them. And Chaos Head, I almost finished it too. I watched like 8 episodes. I even did this thing where I was watching like 4 animes simultaneously on the same screen, and Chaos Head was one of them. And I was just like, all right, this anime is boring, but if I watch it with 3 other shows, maybe that's how I'll get through it. I'll just pay attention 25% of the time to all 4 of these half-assed shows, and even that was enough. It was so painful, and I was just like, you know what? Like I watched 8 episodes, and I was just like, you're almost done. There's only 4 left. Just finish it so you can mark it as finished. And I'm like, nope, can't do it. Fuck this show.
So you can mark
stupid,
it as
makes no
finished.
sense.
I feel that.
The only thing I remember from that show is those eyes. Whose are they? That's it. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but that's all I remember from that show.
Dude,
Yeah,
Chaos Head was so bad. It starts off, there was a murder. It's very suspicious. All of a sudden, the random weeb kid gets a message from himself. Dude, it was you.
That's another
None-
anime that's pretentious for the sake of pretentious, and it's not. It doesn't even make sense. It's
Oh
just-
my god, it was so
Yeah.
bad. And then he got a harem, and of course he unlocked every power ever and destroyed the opponents. And it was such a
Oh,
bad.
is that what happened? Okay. He was just such a bitch, and it never wore off. Like, he just stayed that way.
And no matter they gave him so many like chances to actually develop as a character, and he'd always end up back in his like weeb trailer doing nothing. You know?
Oh yeah, he would literally run and hide and talk to his fucking figures and shit. I remember that. Yeah.
I think the biggest
Yeah, it was
insult
pretty
for that
bad.
show was the fact that they said that it was in the same world as like Steins Gate. Like, there's another show, I think it's Robotics Notes, that they also said is in that world.
Yeah,
I
watched that one,
appreciate
too.
Robotics Notes, but I definitely do not like Chaos Head.
Yeah, it doesn't even make sense.
Damn.
I obviously dropped Berserk because that I don't even know that was almost like, are you serious? Like, that's like one of those things where it's like, you guys are joking, right? And then it's like, oh,
What,
this is
1997 or 2016?
2016.
Yeah, 1997 is actually well
yeah,
done.
yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, and I think the animation's okay as well.
Oh man, no, the OVAs, the Golden Age arc OVAs were amazing.
And just
I just watched
2016
them on
was just
Netflix,
such a
actually.
letdown. It was terrible.
2016 was like literally, it was like a fan went into like one of those programs and was just like moving shit around.
And then you get
But, like, it
things
was
like
real.
Handshakers that like actually look good. Like, come on, like give Berserk a good
feel like-
adaptation for fuck's sake.
They could have done better. Just take out all the CGI in Berserk 2016 and just use Muppets.
I mean, it would have been the same thing basically. Like,
Let's have
I
much better
dropped-
facial expression.
I dropped Triac X. I don't know. I think this was made by the same people who did like High School of the Dead or something. Like, it had the same art style. I mean, I like the art style. I like the like fan service and stuff. But like, the show is just. See, the thing is that's funny is that I think like people are always like, wow, you haven't watched this, you haven't watched that. I don't like watching ecchi unless I'm making a video on it. And if I make a video on it, it'll get demonetized and community guidelines striked and age restricted and all this bullshit. I don't just
Man,
watch
I
ecchi, like,
don't relate.
if look, I'll watch hentai. If it's just regular ecchi, just like I'm just being edged the whole time and it's boring. Nah, you good. Like, if I watch an ecchi, it's because it's actually a good show. Like, I like DxD. I liked Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. Like, that was another really good one. That was like almost hentai, but it was like an enjoyable show and the fights were really cool. So I actually
You watched that piece of shit. I watched it too, man. It was good shit. It was some good titties. I'll give you that.
Valkyrie Drive Mermaid is like a guilty pleasure. Like, it doesn't even make sense why I finished that show, but I definitely did. Like,
Oh, it was
it was just-
trash.
but I mean, it was good trash though. Like, I feel like the show did what it was supposed to do. Like, here's my thing. I remember I used to have a rule. I was like, if an anime has one of three things, then it's a watchable show. Like, if it has a good story and or good animation, or I think it was like one of these three. I think it was like story, animation, like
Good
fan service.
animation
And I was
is
like,
enough of a reason for you to watch a show.
Yeah, man.
No,
I
no,
mean,
it has to have two. It has to have two of three of these things. Like, it has to have like if it has good animation and a good plot, then that's just like a good show. But one of the things is like if the show has like a really good plot, and well, usually it's not good plot and fan service. Usually it's like if it has really good animation and fan service, then I'll watch it. And Valkyrie Drive Mermaid was one of those shows where like it was retarded, but like it looked like it had like the fights, like they actually like looked pretty cool, and it was just the fan service was just ridiculous. It was just like I said, it was almost porn.
It was
so
it was a creative way to
full-on
present
groping
the fan
scene there.
service. I will.
I've
admit.
never seen an anime so unapologetically just have nipples on screen, like just all the time. Like, it's crazy. Oh, Valkyrie Drive Mermaid is also one of the shows I use as a comparison when people are like, oh, you like this anime character, she's 15. Literally, the main character looks like she's 30 and she's 15. And I'm like, all right, so you're going to use this logic for this? Because, like, by this logic, you're saying that, like, this character, I shouldn't. Oh, hold on. I'm going to find this character. I'm going to show you. This character is just like, and I'm like, don't stop it. Just stop it. Stop using these as comparisons. I think all the characters in here were like high school students, but they're all like just huge MILF looking characters.
They have
Yeah,
IQs of like 47 and kept failing and stayed in high school.
remember.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just paste some of the fucking, like, just the artwork. Like, it just looks like.
Just look at
you
these
just see
titties,
this,
man. So
and you just want to
good.
watch it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
Yeah,
I've
they had
seen
video
it.
games made after it too, like a video
I'm
game
pretty
spin-off.
certain I've seen this show actually. Now that I'm looking at
let me
it.
find out.
Yeah, they're really thick, good-looking waifus. So it's not. I
Yeah,
would not
they just-
count that as a bad anime because it accomplished its objective of actually being
Exactly.
entertaining with the titties.
Is this the one where they have to kiss and then they turn?
Yeah,
into
they
one?
have to basically
Yeah,
masturbate each
so
other.
I have
and
seen
one of
it.
them turns into a weapon, and
Dude, I am glad you mentioned that right now, okay? Because there was one of the worst anime I've ever seen, Maso Gaku and HXH.
oh my
Have you
god,
seen
yes, that was the next one I was gonna say. No, so that one I got two community guideline strikes for this fucking anime, so I dropped it out of spite. Because that anime was basically just porn, and like
Yeah.
I was reacting to it, and YouTube was just like, "Nah, fam, you ain't about to do this." Like, no. Who the fuck
That
is this
anime is so bad, okay? The main
That anime-
character, his ability is if he can get a woman to gasm, then she will gain tremendous power.
Yeah.
Here's what they should have done with Masogakuen. They should have just made it a hentai, and it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But they didn't, and so it's just a shitty, etchy anime. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fuck that anime, and fuck YouTube for striking my channel twice with that.
But on,
I mean,
on
to the
another
credit, it was
note,
pretty
one
bad,
that
but-
made me extremely disappointed with it was Masamune Koons Revenge.
I don't even know what that is.
It started out
I
pretty
had
nice.
nothing.
Like it started out good. It was gonna like be really nice because he was like he hated this bitch, and the thing was like he was gonna pretend to be his like the girlfriend, like the guy's dream, and then dump her, like because just out of spite. And I was like, damn, this girl's a bitch and deserves it. But then halfway through the story, of course, he falls for her, and he's just like, oh, I actually like you now. It's all cool. And then suddenly, like the whole plot of it, it's like there's no more revenge, and it's just stupid, and it was a huge disappointment.
It
I
sounds
was
like a
I
hentai
was
plot.
really upset.
Sometimes like you'll have like a hentai plot, which is perfect for hentai, but then when you make a regular anime out of it, it's just retarded.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think the same season that Masamune-kun was airing, Fuka aired, and I couldn't even get myself to be upset at Masamune-kun because it was that much better than Fuka.
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen it. The first episode.
Fuka, that cartoon? That's not even anime, right? Or I don't know.
Thing.
Fuka's the one with the girl in the band? Or am I thinking of something
Yeah.
else?
If it shows up on my anime list. Oh no, it doesn't. All right.
Wasn't the show different from like the manga?
I didn't know about that. Fuka anime. No, why can't I find it? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong title. Oh, no, Fuka. Fuuka. There it is. Fuka.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, I have no idea what this is. Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
like in the first episode, basically, guys walk in, and all of a sudden, this girl jumps like over a crowd and like smashes into his face with her crotch, and then she gets upset at him for looking and like slaps him, and then sees he's holding his
sounds like
phone,
something
so
I've
she
seen
thinks
10
he's
times.
filming it, so he breaks his phone. She breaks his phone, and then she runs away. And then he meets her. Of course, she's in the same school as him. And he's like on a roof, and he sees her on a higher part of the roof. And he's like, wow, she's beautiful. And he like picks his phone up to take a picture as the wind upskirts her. And she sees him doing that. And so she goes and breaks his phone again.
I sometimes feel like these anime are literally a checklist. Like, how many tropes can we just cram into like as little time as possible? And like, there's no way they're not just on purpose doing this. Like, this can't be a subconscious thing. Like, there must be like an inside joke that none of us are in on. Like,
So I
that's
didn't
ridiculous.
actually think that this is the worst anime ever. Just like it was airing the same season as Masamune-kun, so I just had nothing bad to say about Masamune.
Well, it's fair enough, man. It's fair enough. I was just mostly disappointed, like super disappointed with the direction it went. It had such a great build up and then turned to crap.
Yeah, wasn't from my understanding for Fuka, wasn't the girl supposed to like die when the like truck was supposed to hit her?
I
That's what
have
I've been
no
told.
idea. I
Like,
did not read this manga. Okay.
Oh.
Jordan, the anime dude in chat, says, Nuxtaku, I'll defend Fuka till the day I die, even though the manga starts out the same way. I was about to say I couldn't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's a huge Fuka fan.
That's specific.
Fuka just sounds like a derogatory word.
But anyway, anyone else have worst anime ever? I think we already went through everyone.
I mean,
Evan
did you
said
guys
Tokyo
ever
Ghoul
see
Season
Final
1.
Fantasy Spirits Within? Does that count as anime?
See it.
It's close enough.
I don't even know what that is.
Have you ever been so hyped to see a Final Fantasy movie and then saw Final Fantasy Spirits Within and was the biggest disappointment that you've ever spent money to go see in theaters? Because that was a hot garbage movie. Because holy shit, that was the worst fucking movie I think I've ever seen, and I think it gave anime movies like a big setback too, unfortunately.
Good lord.
I'm
trying to look at like literally every anime that I gave like a super bad score, I dropped it. Like I don't finish. If I think a show is really bad, I just don't finish it. So like I don't even like have like I don't know about like a lot of bad anime, because why the fuck would I do that? Wait, hold on, I just saw 4. Oh, Mirai Nikki, I gave him 4.
The Future Diary was okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's terrible. It was all right.
Conception was pretty bad.
I don't. Mirai Future Diary is one of those anime where it's like I wouldn't say it's an inherently bad show. It was just bad for me. I just didn't. Oh,
So
man.
I never marked down anime that I dropped
Heavenly,
on my
dude.
lists and stuff. And one of my anime that I have dropped, or like I only have 4 anime actually listed here that I dropped. One's Kill la Kill, and one's Gate.
I'm gonna.
Whoa.
I'm gonna
I mean, that's
Yeah,
just
bro.
taste. It is what it is. I'll accept it.
Hey, at least
I wouldn't
try.
say either of them
Say
are
that
garbage. I didn't give them enough
Gate
of a
was
chance.
pretty garbage, okay?
Gate wasn't
Whoa,
that good.
whoa,
Yeah.
It was pretty good at the beginning. The second season was a
whoa.
little bit like worse, and then I don't even know what happened after that. I don't know if there's.
Gate's only redeeming feature was the 900-year-old lolly, okay?
I mean,
The rest of Gate was pretty bad.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
They fought the
I
dragon.
enjoyed it.
I thought that was a cool concept. but,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
thought that was pretty cool. I kind of liked the using military weapons against fantasy elements. I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of interesting as well.
It wasn't much of a fight. They just nuked them, bro.
Yeah, that was the cool part.
Okay, no, like I have some anime that I
And
gave like a.
you know what
6.
was the most non-realistic part of that entire show? I mean, I don't want to sound racist or anything, which is always a good way to start. Basically, they had like this super elite American unit go in to like, I don't remember what they were doing, and they needed to like beat up these like 3 Japanese guys, including the main character who's this otaku dude. And this entire unit completely gets flexed on by the incredible wit and genius of these 3 Japanese soldiers. Completely took out this entire American Black Ops CIA team. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, when they were surrounded. Well, didn't they have Loli or Rory Mercury take some bullets for them in the real world, or maybe I'm thinking of a different scene?
No, I think you're thinking of the right scene. But the fact that they failed so bitterly was funny. It's like you had these complete moron Americans attacking. I thought that was hilarious.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, you know, Japan loves itself, and there's not much you can do about that.
You know, Heavenly, I mean, I think I could save you a lot of time. You know that you could sort your the things you've seen on my anime list by score, right?
Yeah, I just don't have like a lot of stuff that's scored very low that I finished, and then the ones that I dropped, I've only dropped like, I don't know, I only dropped like a few shows.
Yeah, I never
Also,
marked
there's
the
a lot of
stuff that I
stuff that,
dropped
like,
because it's not even worth
I don't
my
even-
time.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's lots of.
I have a guy in the chat, Pete Buttigieg 2020. Oof, don't want to be the guy to tell you this, but
Have any of you?
Oh,
Have any of you guys seen Glass
I gave
Lip?
100 a 5. 100? That's another shitty etchy.
Never heard of it.
I started it, dude. That was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. Glass
You know-
Lip was
you know,
awful.
The only reason I watched that, I did like little like dub like parody videos of it. That's all I did, and that's why I watched it at all.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
let's see.
that came from sorry to say this, but it was another kind of fish people anime.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
like it was from the same creators. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh god, it was like they came from the sea. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but it was an incredibly great anime. So I was super excited for Glass Lip because it was made by the same creator. same studio, kind of like the same setup, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be another good one. But no, it was the most contrived bullshit garbage that made no sense, and I was just like, I hate this. I hate this. Like after watching 5 episodes, I dropped it. God, it was so disappointing. It felt like watching a bad soap opera.
Oh my god, hold on. I need to post this in the chat. Someone put this in a tweet. Wait. This isn't what I was looking for, but this is also amazing. Wait.
Oh, a lull in the sea, I think, is what the good one was. Yeah. That was
Hell yes. Whoever made this is a legend. Why is it not uploading? What the fuck?
In the meantime, how do you guys feel about Dragon Ball Super?
I mean, it's just
good.
whatever.
It was okay. It was there.
I don't think it was any better than whatever.
I think it was significantly worse than original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, so it was a letdown for me.
Yes.
I don't think it was absolute garbage. It just felt so different. They turned Goku into even more of a kid, and then they turned Vegeta into a pussy. So like I don't know, it threw me off.
If you just look at Dragon Ball Super as just like fan fiction, then you're fine. Like it's just like fan made off of the source material. That's like officially licensed. That's all it is. So just enjoy it for what it is.
So what do you prefer, GT or Super?
Probably still Super.
They're about the same, honestly.
I personally prefer GT a little bit more.
I think GT is better because it's shorter, so like you have to endure less bullshit.
Yeah,
I think Super would be better if they trimmed a lot of the fat down.
Someone mentioned Steins Gate Zero in chat, and as
Steins Gate Zero was good.
it was alright.
I like
It was
Steins Gate
alright.
Zero. I like Steins Gate Zero a lot.
I liked it a lot too. I thought people were hating on it just for the sake of hating. Get a life. It doesn't have to be
Once
the
again,
same
though-
exact show as the original Steins Gate. No, it was not as good as OG Steins Gate.
Not even
But
close
was it
to
a
as
good
good as
anime?
OG and Steins Gate.
A good
Once
anime.
again, some of the
I
people
think
who
so.
watch, I just listen. I don't want to keep referencing, but I just feel like because I was just the reviews I watched was like Digibros, and Digibro liked Steins Gate, and then he's like Steins Gate Zero is so bad, and I'm just like, all right, you need to chill out.
And then he just nitpicked their clothing.
He overdid it. The dude made like 5 videos on it.
I mean, I enjoyed watching all of them, but I didn't agree with like 90% of it. But
I thought it was
good ass Cheetos.
Someone in chat was saying Steins Gate Zero's bad, and then he's like, and Steins Gate and regular Steins Gate was bad too. I'm like, okay, that's it. Invalidated opinion.
Yeah, Steins Gate Zero is a better isekai phone.
Yeah.
I will say in Steins Gate Zero, that shit of him having to time travel like 50 million times was kind of stupid, but whatever. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I thought it was fine.
Anything else that we're forgetting, guys?
I think I pretty much like
That there's pretty much the worst anime ever.
Boruto?
I mean,
Boruto.
Boruto's
even
the
talk
biggest
about it.
anime to shit on such a great franchise. So I'll give it that. Is it the worst anime ever? I highly doubt it.
No, obviously
because
not.
A lot of
the
people
worst
like to
animes-
say that the war arc ruined Naruto, but I think that no, Boruto ruined
Yeah, Boruto
Naruto.
pretty much.
Boruto didn't ruin
Franchise.
Naruto just because Naruto was over, so I can just pretend Boruto doesn't exist, and then like I'm still.
Yeah, Boruto does not really exist.
I think the worst anime.
We live in
is-
some crazy dystopian future where we have this
There you
Boruto
go.
thing, but nah, fam, not real.
Exactly.
I think the worst anime is the Bleach Bound arc.
I mean, that was filler, so.
Really, I don't think it was that. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
You know,
But I
here's
thought
the
that
thing
the
about the
Bleach
Bound
Bound arc. Sorry,
I can't even say the Bound arc was bad because I just don't remember it. So like, I mean,
I think
it was
honestly though, I
it
think
was
the
good enough
Bound
to walk
arc was
through.
better than the Fullbringer arc, and that was canon.
the Fullbringer arc wasn't bad. It was just it felt like they rushed it at the end. Like, this
Rushed
man
it.
went through, like,
that arc was basically it. There were so many plot conveniences in that arc.
No, like
It-
Ichigo went through like 6 power-ups in like 10 episodes, and even the opening was changing so fast because of how many power-ups he was getting.
that's
It
true.
was like, oh, now I'm gonna fight with a Getsuga Tensho frisbee. Oh, now it's a Getsuga Tensho cloak. Now the cloak is like this white outfit, which I actually thought looked pretty cool. But he used it for literally 1 episode, and then it's like, all right, now I'm just a storyboard again. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
Like
you were-
it was
not
an
like the
in-between
opening
arc where he just didn't like the authors didn't know what to do.
I'll admit, I don't remember it that well, and I don't remember the Bount arc that well. I've never rewatched any of them. But that said, the Fullbringer arc is right after he uses this amazing thing where he has to sacrifice his powers to be like really overpowered, which has been done before in Bleach itself. Uryu did that a few arcs ago, and it was pretty badass. And now Ichigo uses this ultimate power up where he sacrifices his powers, and then the next episode, these Fullbringer guys that apparently were there all along are like,
well, no,
you
there
are
was
in
a
fact
whole
a
filler
Fullbringer as well, where you can use a swastika as a weapon.
There was a whole filler season where Ichigo hadn't lost his powers completely. They were just on their way out. And like they had to turn back time on him so he could use his powers again for like
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah, and then he lost him again. It was, I don't know, it was kind of bittersweet when he lost his powers, but like at the same time it felt like a cop out when it's like, we're just gonna give them back to you. Like I feel like he should have like just became a Fullbringer and then just like learned how to use that power instead. And like, I don't know. Or maybe honestly, after he defeated Aizen, they should have just ended the fucking show. Honestly.
Isn't that what he wanted
like
to do?
that,
But
and
then
the same
Jump
way I
just
feel like
said,
Naruto should have
no,
ended after the
we need
Pain
you to
arc.
continue the series. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
What?
Oh, my
maybe.
God, heavenly.
Dear God.
What?
Our boy Johnny, Let's Talk Anime came in clutch.
Oh God, what the
What
fuck
happened?
happened? Also,
Here, look
fuck
at
you,
this.
Heavenly.
look at
Oh, hell yes.
No!
He's in the chat. We got our
I gotta
fish
show.
board.
I gotta show this on
Johnny,
screen.
I am gonna unfollow you on
It's kind of
Twitter, man.
kinky, in fact. I kind of like am turned on by this.
What the fuck? No.
Squeezing a fish, man.
Yeah. Hold on. I need to tweet this.
Is that going to be the new term for like fapping? I'm going to squeeze the fish.
Wow.
I'm going to squeeze the sword out of your fish.
I do not want. I hate this. I hate this so much.
Oh, dear
That
God.
just ruined my appetite, man. I'm not even hungry anymore.
Do you eat
You're
sushi,
welcome.
Evan?
No, I don't eat sushi.
You son of a bitch.
All right, Knox, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, hell yeah, that was great. I had fun. We talked about fish. We talked about some bad anime. We talked about some anime that aren't so bad that people think are bad. And we have Noble here, the absolute mad lad. Who,
Yeah, it just
surprised
kind
us
of got
in the
invited
trailer.
out of nowhere. I'm like, okay.
So, Noble, actually, Noble, you were at ALA last year, or this year, and I just never saw you.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw you either, homie. Well, I was.
The reason why I knew you were probably there is because I remember you were there last time, and then I was like, maybe he's here this time, but then I never saw you. And I think I saw, like, you posted that you were there, and I'm like, what? But then again,
You never came
ALA
by. I saw Evan.
ALA was hectic. I was always
Evan was there. Hell yeah, Evan. This man coming in clutch, making bonds.
Yeah,
See,
but
no,
enough is-
ALA is my birthday weekend, so it's always really crazy. So I had like 3 parties, and it was ridiculous. I was all over the place.
Damn, dude. Yeah. I mean, live it up, dude. It's your birthday. Might as well go to bailing parties. I was mostly
Hell
at a
yeah.
table, working like the booths and stuff there
Really,
with my
like,
girlfriend.
I feel like the actual hall, like that's probably why. Like it was pretty empty, even the one time I went in there. Like,
Oh, really? No, there was lots of people. What are you...
oh really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
went
There
there,
was
like,
always
almost
shit
empty.
tons of people.
And it was like small, and like, cause I was outside for the most of it, and then like,
Oh, that's why we never met. You were outside. I was inside, like a true weeb.
I mean, that's all the cosplayers were. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I was not making my content and shit.
All right.
Well, with that all said and done, link to everyone in the description of the YouTube video. This will be available on YouTube, on Spotify, and on all those other podcast platforms that we know and love. And we also do this live once a week on Twitch, Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you next week.
Hasta luego.
And stay weird,
Bang.
Why do you always shoot?
Bro, when we do the D&D streams, I'm gonna shoot you. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, getting ready for the D&D. That's what I'm doing.
Bro,
now.
I'm excited. I rolled
Yeah,
a
it'll be
fucking
fun.
5.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh.
I got pretty average stats, so don't worry about it. Mine are like whatever.
All right, so Nuxie boy, are we playing Apex?
Apex boys.